inductee, Dick Shannon. Dick lettered in 3 sports at Watertown High as a defensive back for some of the tough Raider gridiron squads and a first-line starter on the ice as well. But it's his baseball prowess that earns him a ticket to the Hall of Fame this year, joining his late brothers Art and Bill. Dick was a 3-year starter at second base, hitting over 400 his junior year and .528 the next. He was all everything, Suburban League All-Star both junior and senior years, and a consensus All-Scholastic first-team pick by the Boston papers in his senior year. That year, 1950, marked one of Watertown High School's greatest years in the diamond, sparked by such stars as Dick and Phil Renzi, Phil Stackpole, Joe Barry. The team went 16-3 overall, winning the Suburban League Championship and going deep into the state playoffs. Despite breaking his ankle a week before the season ended, Dick's lofty average and 22 RBIs in just 8 games helped propel the Red Raiders to the top of the league standings. Dick earned a 4-year varsity scholarship to Villanova. There he led the team in hitting with a .445 average in 1952 and a .435 average in 1953. In the Eastern Regional NCAA Baseball Tournament, Dick was named the most valuable player after racking up 11 hits and 68 bats for a .688 batting average. After graduating from Villanova, he reported to the Lynchburg Cardinals of the Cardinal organization and then moved to the Dohane Cardinals of the Alabama-Florida League. There he batted .331 when Dohane won the league pennant in 1954. A year later, Dick's baseball career was cut short by a rotator cuff injury to his throwing arm. Having been drafted in the fall of 1954 and sent to Fort Dix and then to Presidio in San Francisco, he became the Presidio team player manager. Not a bad manager on a squad featuring a roster of professional players, and he led that team with a .367 average. Today, he is president of Nationwide Marketing Group. He is one of the greatest baseball players ever to play here, Dick Shannon.
Dug him up someplace.
I haven't done this in a while, and I really thank you so much for welcoming me this way. Bob Norton, Bob Caprian, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's great to be back in Watertown. You know something? At my age, it's great to be any place. As a matter of fact, you know, you're getting up there in years when you go into a restaurant and you love eggs and you order 3 4-minute eggs and they want cash in advance. And a more serious note here, my 2 older brothers, Bill and Arthur, were inducted into the Watertown Hall of Fame a few years ago. Unfortunately, both brothers have passed on. I'm both humbled and proud to be the 3rd and last Shannon brother to be so honored. My sincere thanks to everyone responsible for my election, particularly to my brother Arthur and my friend of over 50 years, Henry Kasparian. Their combined, untiring effort on my behalf will always be remembered. At this time, I'd also like to acknowledge and thank all of my relatives and friends who have taken the time out of their busy schedules in order to be here this evening with me. Again, thank you very much. You know, good memories are a wonderful thing. Unfortunately, we have bad memories also, but I'd like to focus on the good memory situation. Everyone has subconsciously tucked away remembrances of certain people and certain events that directly affect their lives. Please bear with me for the next few minutes while I share with you just a few of my good baseball-related memories that I have here. I was fortunate to receive a 4-year baseball scholarship to Villanova University. This event really opened up numerous future opportunities in the world of baseball for me. I was able to play college summer baseball up in Augusta, Maine, which was the Down East League. And our catcher was a fellow by the name of Haywood Sullivan. And he turned out to be part owner of the Boston Red Sox. I also played summer baseball up in Presque Isle, Maine. And our catcher was Tommy Gastol. Tom later signed a $40,000 bonus contract with the Baltimore Orioles, which was unheard of at that time. Tom was killed at the start of his second year with the Orioles in a private plane crash. I was invited to work out and try out with the Boston Red Sox in July of 1953. I'll never forget meeting Ted Williams and then Sox manager Lou Boudreau. Both are now in the Baseball Hall of Fame at Cooperstown. I even had an occasion to speak with both of them, and they couldn't have been nicer to me, and it's indelible in my memory. I signed with the St. Louis Cardinal organization the end of that year in July, and ended up in the Piedmont League with Lynchburg, and played against Roger Craig, who was a pitcher with the Newport News team, which is a Dodger affiliate. And then in later life, he went up to the LA Dodgers and then became manager of the San Francisco Giants. I think he was 10 or 12 years there. And he also invented the hard slider. I played against Bobby Lillis, who played shortstop for the LA Dodgers and then managed the Astros for 8 years. And last but not least, a memory that I cherish is our Watertown High School baseball team that was inducted into the Watertown High School Hall of Fame. Some of those players are with us tonight. I noticed Bill Stackpole, Phil Renzi, Frank Fitzpatrick, and Jimmy Lopez are here this evening. You know, it'd be kind of remiss on my part if I didn't end my remarks with a baseball story. And if you forget everything I said tonight, which is probably possible, more than likely, I'd like, maybe you can take this story with you, because it's very relevant. And it's a story about two Irish kids named Pat and Mike. Pat was a third baseman, hard-hitting third baseman, and Mike was a hard-throwing left-handed pitcher. Both guys literally grew up together and played baseball with or against each other for most of their lives. Now, a couple of years ago, they were in the late 60s, and they had lunch once or twice a week and reminisced. One day at lunch, Pat asked Mike if he thought there was baseball in the hereafter. Mike's response was he really didn't know. But he said the only way we'll ever probably find out is when we die, and that's going to be too late, to take with us at that time. And Pat then made a suggestion to Mike, and he said, listen, whoever passes away first will promise to come back to Victory Field 6 months to the day that he passes away at midnight. And whoever is the survivor has to agree to be at Victory Field at midnight at the strike of the clock. And whoever passed away supposedly will visit that person and tell him about the hereafter. Anyway, unfortunately, Pat ended up having a heart attack, and he passed away first. So Mike started counting the days, and 6 months later, and to the day, as he said he would, he went up to Victory Field, and he stood where the pitcher's mound is, and looked around, and now it was like 3 after midnight, and nothing was happening. finally heard a voice, and it sounded like Mike, or Pat, I should say. And Pat said, "Mike, I've got good news and bad news." The good news basically is, yes, there is baseball in the hereafter. The bad news, Mike, is you're pitching Saturday night.